My family consists of me, my fiance David Pena, and our 8-year-old son Kenshin Pena. My biggest stress is being homeless, living in a shelter with my son, and watching my fiance drive away, not being able to have his support at night. It's stressful on me, so it's stressful on Kenshin. Balancing the day-to-day and then looking for housing, that's hard. And since I don't have a place for my son to go because childcare is too expensive, most of the places he can go, he requires a one-on-one because of his meltdowns. And so until I can be able to go through Bay Lake Psychiatry to do some more testing for him to be able to get the services he needs, it's hard. My son's autistic, and so we don't want to feed into each other. If he gets upset, I get upset. It's an endless cycle. With love and logic, it helps so I can remove my emotions from the situation. My end goal is to become an occupational therapist, but I'm going to try out different positions, maybe look into doing peer support for children. I'm also looking into maybe starting off in a daycare setting for special needs. I'm going to be working with Ability Works, which is through TESH, and they're going to try to help me as best as they can for not just my needs, but for my son's needs as well. Yeah. I want to make some kind of difference to be able to help with families, to be able to understand what they're going through, to creating plans to be able to help with it. Yeah. I have turned for help. There's an abundance of resources if you just know where to look. On Facebook, I have made several friends that I can sit there and just sit here and I don't feel judged. I don't feel like someone's gonna attack me about being able to tell them, like, hey, these are the problems I'm having. I can sit there and I can rant. And because of that group, I found the resource of iPool, the Idaho Parents Unlimited, and they're a great resource. Through Heritage Health, I'm on what's called the ACT team, and they're even a bigger resource. And because of all these different resources, learning about networking and making connections within the community, I've got my son into the program Ambitions, which is for developmental disabilities. It's just a network, and I've made a lot of close relationships. A lot of the times when in this kind of situation, it breaks families apart. But my fiance and we've been together 15 years. Wow. And all it's doing is strengthening our unity, our family unit. And
going backwards.
I'm going to ask for a better man. Healthcare around here, it's a lot better than a couple of the places I have lived in previously, but the biggest problem is that they don't have a way to be able to, for families like in my situation, there's not a lot of resources. My husband's diabetic. We lose the insurance or Medicaid that we have right now. We don't have a way to be able to the medications he requires, the test strips, all of that. It's going to be troublesome being able to get those resources. Because of my mental health, I take medication, and without Medicaid, I'm paying a couple $100 a month or more, and I don't have that kind of money. Right, so the most important thing to me is stability. Being able to have the basic needs met, shelter, food, decent health care, to be able to feel safe. My fiance and I, we have this dream. We've started to put it into motion. We want to be able to own our own land and be able to create another resource in which families in the area, that they have another resource in which to be able to have a place to fall back on, where we want to eventually become foster parents. Dreams I have for my son, for him to be able to be able to integrate into a society in a way that reflects his uniqueness, but also to be able to interact with the world around him. It's scary to think about it because he's autistic, because he's gonna struggle in school. I know eventually he'll get better, but it's a fear that I live with. That is he going to be able to take care of himself when he's older without assistance? Well, the one thing that I have found most helpful is you need to ask questions. You need not to be afraid of people judging you, sometimes you're going to feel like a fool, but that shouldn't matter. I was afraid. I was fully introvert, but because of this experience, I'm more extrovert than I am introvert. So it's coming out of that. It's like coming out of a shell. I'm not so much different. Why don't I do this? Why can't I? It's like, well, it's that fear of trying to get over that fear. But once you're over it, it makes life so much rewarding.